There is a very specific feeling that we experienced as a child. A feeling that was the base for how we viewed and experienced the world and why we look back at those times with rose-tinted glasses. Not nostalgia, not childhood, but something more narrow than that. The feeling of seeing something ordinary, something you walked past a million times before, all of a sudden seems fascinating. Like the movements in a newly formed puddle or a glimmering rock that you decided had value, not because it was worth money, but because it was yours. Growing up is basically abandoning that feeling. You learn what things are worth, the value of items, what is normal and what is not. An easier way to navigate through life, but also less exciting. But in rare moments, even now, that raw curiosity dawns upon you, and maybe, just maybe, can light that spark again. To capture this feeling into an animated cartoon is not an easy task. There are so many moving components to this, the mixture of childlike innocence and the lack of set values that guides us through adulthood. It's raw, hard to explain, but still contains so much longing. Ruri Rocks is the anime that takes that raw curiosity and unfiltered excitement and encapsulates it in a beautiful, stunning world. The premise is simple. We follow our main character Tanigawa Ruri. Because of Ruri Rocks, you see the name? Yeah, okay. A high school girl who might be slightly on the spectrum, but is also drawn to beautiful things. Items, jewelry, nature, all things that stand out. Being too broke to buy a beautiful necklace in the store, she decides to set out on a solo mission to capture these shining rocks herself. With a shovel and literally nothing else in hand, she wanders off into the forest to find herself a pretty gem. With zero success, of course. After aimlessly picking up rock after rock, she runs into Arato Nagi, a university student majoring in mineralogy, the exact thing Ruri is currently looking for. After about 2 seconds after meeting, she begs Nagi to take her to a place where she can find beautiful rocks. Nagi, for some reason, agrees to take this random high school girl deep into the woods, and after just constant nagging and complaining from one part of the duo, they stumble upon this. This was it, the magic she was looking for, the sparkling crystals she saw back in those pendants. The same place Ruri's interest would develop from just aesthetically pleasing objects to the big and unexplored world of minerals. After struggling for a bit and getting help from a professional, Nagi invites her to join her again, a start of a real and warm dynamic between our two main characters. You see, one thing that instantly sets a show like this apart from similar concepts is that Ruri isn't treated like a mascot to encourage cute learning. No, you're fully committed to her perspective. You never feel slow or out of touch because Ruri is asking the exact same questions you would ask. If you aren't a mineralogy major, and if you are one, I don't really believe you. There are many times where you feel more knowledgeable than her, despite seeing everything for the first time as well, because a high school girl with the energy and attention span of a raccoon will forget things. You don't get pressured to learn, right? But rather microdosed with small bits of information here and there, naturally flowing through the story. And it's because of the atmosphere the show have set, the comfortability to be dumb, that actually inclines you to care and listen. When Ruri runs off somewhere, you are in the first row seat right beside her, and when Nagi explains something about Rocks? You are also listening, taking in information about a subject you had no prior interest in, but somehow are still more deeply involved in than any of your current 15 missing assignments. The main cast technically consists of 4 people, where 2 play a much more distinct side character role, but never get left out or frozen from the main party. Ruri and Nagi are the main stars, the dynamic duo, the mentor and student, a chemistry only describable as family. A mentor who is not only extremely knowledgeable in the subject Ruri has taken an interest in, but also knows how to keep that interest lit inside her. It's not about dumping boring statistics and cold hard facts on a Gen Z high school girl, but showing her the beauty she is looking for. Her development of interest keeps the pace moving in a show talking about a subject that makes minute changes over hundreds of thousands of years. It would be very easy for it to feel slow-paced or stagnant because of the slow-changing nature of minerals. But having Ruri constantly learning more and wanting to learn more sets a nice pace. She is still a kid in many ways, getting irritated and bored when things don't go her way, but also feels anxious and stressed out over small mistakes. This comfortability to be wrong can only be credited back to Nagi, as she never criticized or degraded her for making mistakes. She listens and then turns the incorrect assumptions into simple facts. She lets the excited teenager come to her own conclusions before stepping in, and always does it with a gentle warmth of guidance. Like a big sister who looks out for her sibling, being clear and harsh when she needs to, but mostly protecting and guiding that smile to a brighter view of the world. Nagi and Ruri is such a strong duo, the introduction of more characters would almost be... Imari Yoko is the third character to be introduced and one of Nagi's underclassmen. Also majoring in mineralogy, she has a distinct personality that isn't as loud as Ruri's or as calm as Nagi's, but something more typical, studious and introverted that opens up like Pandora's box when you mention her interest. She shares the exact same excitement for minerals as Ruri, but in the totally opposite way. Let's just say that we would not have a show if Ruri had met Imari instead of Nagi in the first episode.
昔の情報って見つけたらすぐ保護しないと簡単に消えちゃうからね。当時の専門書って発行部数も極端に少ないし、これも
Imari acts a bit like an anchor, slowing down the pace when both Nagi and Ruri gets too excited about something, a drag and pull relationship that works beautifully. Imari is also a great reflection of how you would do out there. Okay, now with a great trio, we surely don't need anyone more. Seto Shoko, a classmate of Ruri who always loved rocks as a child, but being judged by both her classmates and her own parents, she locked away that spark to be perceived as normal. The feeling of disappointing or worrying other people outweighs her own personal interests. Liking rocks is weird, you need to change. Ruri is different from Seto because 1. She is an extremely loaded ball of highly condensed energy, and 2. She doesn't care how other people perceive her. Never once did she hide her newfound hobby from her classmates, despite how easily it could have led to ridicule, a thought that probably never even crossed Ruri's mind. This judgmental-free aspect of her is something that Seto quietly envied. The things she pushed away, you can't enjoy these weird things, people will judge you.
鉱物の研究者になりたいんです。目指すのは大変ですか?
You can't hide yourself forever. Living the life of regret in exchange of pleasing others just means that you're trying to please the wrong people. There are always people out there that are going to bring you up, support you and push you forwards. It's your job to find them. The dynamic keeps on changing, but never for the worse. You get to see everyone grow in their own way and work on their own weaknesses, which makes the relationships not only feel very real, but realistic.
That means the exact same thing.
Man, shut up! The wide array of slice of life anime, and we can actually go a bit more specific, the wide array of Iyashikei anime makes these qualities of characters seem almost necessary for a slow-paced, low-stakes show to feel that feeling of longing. The thing with a show like Ruri Rocks is that it's telling you so much while barely telling you anything at all. Iyashikei anime isn't about chasing spectacle, it's about capturing the quiet parts of being human. And I don't think there are many shows out there that capture that better than Ruri Rocks. Curiosity never leaves you. That sense of wonder is still there. It's only your job to find it once again.